everybody. My name is Jason, and this is the fourth episode of the Co-English series that I've done. In this episode, we are preparing ourselves for the tournaments coming up. In my case, it would be Del Hollow Lake, and Del Hollow Lake is actually for the should be at the beginning of March. So I need to call or go online and actually register for that in the BFL. As you can tell, we are in the BFL circuit. Schedule, Mountain Division, it's the 18th. Music City is the 11th. Okay, so March 11th. So you can sign up right here on there or by calling them, which I covered that in episode 1. We went through the rules in the second episode. We go over the rules as a co-angler and where we fish at, and actually back of the boat, and you communicate with your boater. And then in the third episode, we cover the contingency programs. As you see right here, this is the contingency programs. We went through the contingency programs just to show what it is that you could actually. Now it's just about preparing for your tournament. So preparing for your tournament, there's a few things you can do when you prepare. You can go on to YouTube and put fishing Del Hollow Lake March. It doesn't matter. I use Del Hollow as an example because that's something I am doing. If you are fishing obviously a different division or a different lake, then you put the name of the lake that you're going to fish or the river that you're going to fish, and hopefully you can get some information there. Hopefully it's during the time that you actually have to go there. Well, I know from fishing Del Hollow Lake for the past couple of years now, I noticed that it is going to be it's a egret season, approximately about a month out, and I need to prepare. I like to use the Novonics chart viewer just for my personal preference. Know which way the water's flowing into, know which way the directions that you're going to go, know where the dam is, know where, which creek or arm you're in. Not to necessarily know what your boater's going to fish, but just for you to know if something would happen, you would know the general area that you would be. We always go out of Star Point Resort. Like for instance, Star Point Marina, Star Point Resorts right here. We always come out, you can either go right or left. Going right is going down toward the dam. Right here's the dam. If you go left, you go toward the Obey River, which is down here. And this can be treacherous that time of year. If you go up here and you take a left, you go toward the dam, and you go up here, you can go to the right or through Boys Island, and then you go over here and there's the marina, and you also have Wolf River. So we've caught fish right here. Just kind of generalized, know where you're going, the area. My main thing is as a co-angler, I want to just kind of look and say, okay, if I'm positioned right here by Trooper Island, and I'm right here on this guy right here, I'm fishing anywhere from 19 to 46 feet deep, offshore. Look up anything just to see what they're catching them on. Approximately about a week out, I would make sure that I have everything ready to go, because you're going to have to travel down there. Now, I will tell you this. There are two ways of doing it. You can go down as a co-angler and jump on somebody's boat if you know them. Or you can go down there and not pre-fish. I believe, and this is controversial, no matter who you are, what you do, I believe as a co-angler, it's not going to help me to go down there. And I'll tell you, and I can explain why. One is I'm going to waste a lot of gas to go down there to try to get on someone's boat to fish. And then, if I go down there on a Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, and I fish for 2 days before the tournament, I run the risk of the fish getting stuck and not biting during the tournament. Two, I rather save the money and go down there the night before and then prepare myself for the next day. Three, I would rather enjoy my comfy of my bed as long as I can. And four, you're a co-angler. If you was a boater, then I would highly suggest you go down there. But as a co-angler, you don't need to go down there. You don't need to go down there and prepare. Now, if you have a buddy that fishes down there, it's good to get some information. I tried that a couple of years ago. I got told all the wrong information, and I didn't catch that many fish. Last year, I put into operational of not pre-fishing ever on any type of body of water. Now, I may pre-fish at a local lake here in the Buckeye Division because it's close to home, but I will not pre-fish like a couple days prior to the tournament. So if you do it like a couple weekends prior, and other people are going to go out and go fishing, yes, I understand that, but realistically, in my mind as an angler, I want to preserve that fish catch for particular that day. I don't want to I can eliminate those variables, right? So I make sure that my reel's in good standing, my rods are in good standing, my line is in good standing, everything is tied up, ready to go. At least if you do take a spinning rod, Ned rig, drop shot, those things are already attached or ready to go. I can easily make some adjustments on the water. A rig, make sure you have your A rig right, all that stuff. So you'll have you'll make your own pre-checklist prior to going down there. So you get that research done, you get all that stuff done, then you go ahead and start your checklist. I'm guaranteed I'm going to go down the day prior. I usually drive down on Friday, have the meeting Friday night, and then go fishing on Saturday. So a checklist, you can decide whatever checklist you want. You make your own checklist. That way you'll know specifically. Look at the weather forecast. Is it going to be raining? Make sure you have rain gear. A good set of rain gear will go a long way, right? So you want to prepare that. It's an additional cost that you're going to have. Driving down there, staying the night. Where are you staying the night at? Are you going to stay in the hotel? Are you going to stay down in the campsite? Or are you going to sleep in your vehicle? So you got to prepare for that. You also got to prepare getting money for your boater, for gas money, for the end of your trip. Okay? When you jump in people's boats and you drive all the way to the dam from the marina down here, you come out right here, and I'll tell you this, you come out right here and the dam is all the way down here. I rode down there with that, and we fished right here, right at the dam, and we also fished some other spots down here. Okay, when you run that far, you're preparing 60, $80, right? Especially if you catch fish, you're definitely gonna give up some money then. Those are expenses that you got to do, and you got to have a checklist. Know which way the water's flowing. Do your due diligence. Do some research online. Google it. YouTube it. Somebody's probably got a video out there, even if it's 5 years old. you can still see what they're using, and depending on the time of year. I mean, obviously, you going in March and they are fishing in October and they're catching them like, from, whatever. Obviously, you're not going to do the exact same thing in March as they do in October. You're going to look at, try to get, March, April time frame, because the weather's different every year. You can't go by the past. You just know that, hey, I used this here and was able to catch fish. Every year it's different. 2 years ago is different than last year, and this year is going to be different. So again, just be prepared, have your rain gear, have a good checklist in order to go out there. Once you get the layout of the lake and understand depths and everything else, then you will be better prepared for pretty much anything. You're not going to get a wake bait and use it the whole time. You would want things that dive down to 14 foot, like rock crawlers, or you would want some of, you might do some deep cranking. There might be grass in 12 feet of water, but the grass is only 4 feet, so you want something that's, 6 to 8 feet. So you need to realize that, and it's all going to be different. So you need to be prepared. I am going to cover my gear in a future episode, but once you get that checklist done and you get on the road, and you can do whatever. If you do decide to go down there, make sure you have a checklist prior to that, because you don't want to get down there and realize that you don't have everything you need. Part of your checklist, suggested checklist. This is what I go through. I have my tackle, I have my rods and reels. Obviously, we're going fishing in a tournament. If you have recording equipment, make sure you have those and the batteries as well. Make sure you have, it's part of the checklist, make sure you have money. 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, it's very hard to remember some of those things at times. Make sure you have your rain gear. Make sure you have cold weather gear. It can be to the point of, I've been down there in March where it was a high of 36 degrees and you're running 60, 70 mile an hour on the water, and the water has been muddy and everything else. I've had my parka and my thick, like, layers of clothes and everything because it's freezing, right? So make sure you have a good set of all weather purpose gear. Make sure you have a good set of rain gear. Your flotation device. Make sure you bring that flotation device. Do not rely on your boater. You can go buy one at any store. You can have those automatic ones or you can have those manual ones. I have the automatic ones. Not saying you have to, but I do, because I also have a boat. So I have my own that I always take with me. Make sure it's in working condition. You don't want to wait until you get out there and realize that your CO2 cartridge to fill that up is empty, or it's red, indicated red. It's very hard to do anything at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So make sure you have gloves. Make sure you have earmuffs if you want to use them. Make sure you have, because I had a whole face mask, ski mask combination thing that I have from the military, so I used that, and gloves. Make sure that you have your baits with you that you want to take. And most of all, enjoy that time. Everybody's going to be anxious. I'm always anxious before a tournament because I'm excited to go. I'm actually excited to start fishing again. So stick around, stay tuned for the next episode. Attending the meeting, as well as doing some information, some of the questions to ask during that. If you have any questions whatsoever on any of these episodes, please leave them down in the description below. I'll be happy to answer those, or I can make a video and answer them for you that way. But be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share this out to people. If you are interested in wanting to fish in a tournament in a BFL, this is the place you want to go. Or if you know anybody who wants to do it, share this video out to them. I'm really excited if it gets out and people can start fishing, because I inspire them to start fishing. But that's all I have for this video. As always, thank you for clicking on the video. Thank you for swinging by. God bless, Tight Lines. We are out of here. Deuces.